name is John C.
Hello? Hello, my name is Nate Hill, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Davy backfight of One Piece. Now, One Piece is an amazing series, probably the best of all time, and all I have to say is that this part is so freaking good. I freaking love it. It is so good. Everyone should read this. I think that everyone will like it, but I really like Foxy. Foxy is my favorite One Piece character in the entire series, and I think that he is not as good as Crocodile as a villain, but I think that he's really good. My final thoughts on this is that this is 10 out of 10. I would honestly really suggest this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize for that, but all I have to say is that you should really read the Davy Backfights. Davy Backfights is probably the best arc in all of One Piece, and it is better than anything I have ever read, ever. Even better than, Fullmetal Alchemist. Thank you so much for watching. This was Nate Hill's reviews, and I will see you next time.
Everywhere, it's me, ShrugPod, and today I'm going to be delivering you a review for the Davy Backfights arc in One Piece. Now, this is a transition between Skypiea and Water 7, a very important transition, I have to say, because, for one, it not only brings back a little bit of comedy back into the series, but it also brings us a very important element that we are going to see later on in One Piece during the Paramount War. It's suspense. We get to see people that are more powerful than Luffy, and we actually feel that they are very, very powerful, even without even seeing them in action. But as soon as we see them in action, we become very scared. But I'll get on to that later on. Now, here is a review. The Pirates have just left Skypiea. They landed onto the water, where they had then gone to the next island, Long Ring Long Land. Yes, that is right. I could barely say that myself. The island, they realize that it's just a bunch of grassy plains, and that everything there is very stretched out. Everything is very weird. So there's a very, very, very tall tree, and Luffy hits it. It falls over, and it is a man on totems. Yes. And so the man falls over and finally reunites with his horse, until the man, after riding with his horse very gallantly through the land, was shot. He was then healed by Chopper, but the guy who shot the man was then asserted by Luffy, and the man asked, "Alright, we're gonna go get into a Davy backfight." And what is a Davy backfight, you ask? Well, Davy backfight is a bunch, or a group of games that pirates play to steal their crewmates, or steal their flag, and pretty much steal their pride altogether. And so Luffy agrees to it. The story continues out where Luffy and the gang are fighting the Foxy Pirates, led by Silver Fox Foxy. And they are very unfair. So the teams go as Nami, Usopp, and Robin, Sanji, Chopper, and Zoro, and then Luffy. Also, it's Zolo. Yeah, Gear Third. Yeah, it's Zolo! And what happens is that they play very unfair, and so Luffy has to try to win Chopper back after they lose him. And so the story is just a bunch of tiny little minigames. Pretty much manga filler. Yeah. It's a filler arc for a manga. Never thought I would say it. But there is a very important factor to this arc, which I'll explain later. Characters introduced in this arc are not any new crew members, but the main villain is the Silver Fox Foxy, along with his crew of the Foxy Pirates. And like I said, they are very unfair-natured. He is very just immature, very weak. His power is the devil fruit of the slow fruit, which makes everything slow in time for 30 seconds. And the other characters are very forgettable, to say the least. I could find better villains throughout the rest of the series, but there is one person who we need to talk about who's very important. Admiral Aokiji, who holds the chili fruit and is the admirals in the government for the Marines. He is very, very powerful. Many people hold this title. Only 3! There are only 3 people that hold this title. Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru. And it is very important to know that these guys are very, very strong. So we get to see Aokiji very early on in the series, and we get to see how much of an overwhelming threat that the government can be. We do not get to see the rest of the 3 admirals, but we do get to see Aokiji, who apparently has some history with Nico Robin, which we'll figure out in the next arc. But for right now, all we get to see is how powerful Aokiji is. Aokiji gets in a fight with Luffy, and Luffy ends up getting frozen. And so does Robin. They both end up getting frozen solid by this guy, pretty much not able to hurt him at all. Like, whatsoever. Very, very odd to see that happen. Luffy usually ends up coming back, but Aokiji just took him out. Like, and so we, as the readers, get to see this overwhelming threat that the government holds for the next, few arcs. That they're making stronger enemies, and that Luffy has to get a little bit stronger. And that's why this arc, I feel like, is so important. But next arc is even more important. The Davy back fights, it holds some comedy, but is also a very good transition into what's about to happen. Back fights, like I said, is very small. Only 3 volumes long. Volumes 32 all the way through 34. And it's very small. But this is such a dumb, the only reason that I really do like this is because that it's a transition into a more serious tone of the series, which I like. But it's manga filler. For all you Naruto fans, you understand that right now in the anime, it is very frustrating because it's a lot of filler. And I apologize for you guys who stay every week for that. But this is just filler for the manga. It's so dumb and pointless. The only reason that it needed to happen was for the introduction of Aokiji. And it is really, really stupid. In mind, I'm going to give the Davy back fights a 6.3 out of 10. If you're interested in reading this, then go buy the second box set, because that's where it comes in, along with Water 7 and Skypiea. And trust me, the Water 7 review will be quite lengthy, so be prepared. Thanks so much for watching this review. If you really did enjoy this review, then watch the rest of my One Piece reviews, so that way you can catch up to date with what's happened up to this point of the Davy back fights. And like I said, if you're interested in buying this piece of trash, then I suggest just go buying the single volumes, because I don't know why you would want to buy this. It's like my least favorite One Piece arc, for real. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.